from Israel to see The View.
It's Tuesday, October 6th, coming up live on The View. Ling is back as our special guest co-host and weighing in on hot topics. From Letterman's on-air apology to his wife and staff.
I got my work cut out for me.
To John Gosling calling Kate a liar. And we're going behind the scenes of Sherri's star-studded premiere party. Plus, Steve Martin's telling you about his new movie with Meryl Streep and Alec Baldwin. And if he'll ever do stand-up again. Then he's hitting the stage to perform a down-home hit. And the Food Network's Einstein of Eats, Alton Brown is showing the co-hosts the science of making culinary feasts by using tools you won't find in the kitchen drawer. Then, David Alan Grier is revealing which black celebs he says need to behave now that Obama's in the White House, and why he went off on the judges on last season's Dancing with the Stars. All that, hot topics, and more coming up on a brand new season of The View.
And welcome to The View. The fabulous Lisa Ling is back as our special guest. And I am back from one of the most extraordinary memorial services I've ever been to. My friend Patrick Swayze, as you know, passed away.
Yes.
And this thing was a true celebration of his life. His foolishness, his silliness, his fun, his love. I mean, the great things that we were able to see about Patrick that, you know, maybe you forgot because you don't see somebody all the time. But the thing that was endearing, the thing that no one did not speak about, was the relationship between Lisa and Patrick.
His wife.
And
That was a love
wife.
affair.
And it was not Lisa Ling.
No. She's got her own
Lisa
love affair going.
But it was, you know, every now and then, you know, you see it in the movies. You see these kind of relationships where they meet in their youth and you think, and they grow together and they do, and you think, yeah, okay, right. But they actually had it.
They got married young.
They got married young, and they danced together, and they showed a couple of clips of them performing together, and just all the clips from the movies, and a lot of folks I hadn't seen in a long time were there, and it was extraordinary. It was extraordinary, and so
maybe that's what Tom DeLay's driving at, trying to dance his way into a good life or something.
I don't know. I don't know if you can do that. I don't know if you can dance your way into a good life, but this man's life was celebrated. And so I'm saying to all of you, because I know a lot of you out there have been fans and you've been sending great notes and letters and things, I just want to say, don't mourn this man. Don't mourn this passing, because this passing is not meant for tears. It's meant for laughter and celebration, because that's who he was. Right. And so that's where it was.
As you say this, it's interesting because he and Lisa had been together so long. Yeah. I mean, really, you can count the number of celebrities who have stayed in long relationships or lengthy marriages on probably one hand.
Well, there probably is about
an anomaly.
Well, I know people.
Alan
Alder and his wife, Carl Reiner and his wife. That generation, I think.
Newman, and also Eli Wallach and Anne.
Right,
I mean, that relationship has been going on since 2 weeks after Moses was born. That's a long relationship.
I'm sure they've had bumpy times, all these couples, but they've worked it through.
But what is it? What is it? Why do you think that generation has a higher propensity to stay together than the younger generation?
Well, when I was divorced, which was in the 80s, or 1981 or maybe or something, I think a lot of people were getting divorced between 75 and 85. There were a lot of divorces. And that this generation was older, and so I think that they had a different way of looking at it.
And say, I can't take
you know what it was? There was a whole different period. There was a courting period. You didn't get everything done, you know, instantaneously. Let's go on a date. Okay, so what's your name again?
No. I had that. I went on plenty of dates.
But I'm talking about your mom. I'm talking about your mom and my mom and where the families came and the men. You know, you couldn't just, you know, you see in the movies they honk outside and say, you are not going out there until he comes to the door. Do you know what I mean? There are certain mores that don't exist now. You don't court for 2 or 3 or 4 years. You don't have that whole thing.
Now you meet, like you will date 2 weeks, and you hook up, you get married, and you get a reality show.
Yeah, that's right.
You know, I'm not opposed to divorce necessarily. If 2 people have irreconcilable differences and they're just unhappy, then go your way. It just seems like people are so quickly inclined to get a divorce before trying to work things out.
Let's hope this is not the case coming up.
Well, I was going to say on that point that I gave it a very good shot. And in fact, my ex-husband emailed me a congratulations on my new show, which I thought was very sweet. And thank you, Joe.
How'd you feel about that when you got it?
I thought it was great. You know, I mean, we're friendly. You know, once you have a child with someone, you're never really separated. You always will be connected to that person, whether you want
kids.
to.
Yeah, if you have kids, there is no way around it. You've got to know that the other person constantly is there. I remember that. Now, last night on David Letterman, he said his wife was horribly hurt by his behavior, and it was his responsibility to fix it, and apologized also to his staff for being, you know, hassled by the paparazzi, because the paparazzi are really giving his staff a hard time, because he's gone public about his sex scandal, which he made clear was in the past, okay, was in the past. Now, if the paparazzi was going to chase everybody who had had sex in the past, I'd be running like Flo-Jo. I would be Flo-Jo. I would totally be Flo-Jo. But now, is he doing the right thing talking about this on there? It's not like I think it was his choice. I kind of think somebody said we're going to...
Why not pay the $2 million and just shut up?
It would never have been over if he had paid this money.
How do you know? Come on, stuff like that happens all the time. People get paid off.
Maybe. $400.
Girl, did you just buy the San Francisco Bridge, Lisa?
No,
you know what I love? I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
I just have to say the thing that I love that David did was he apologized to his wife. Even though they weren't married at the time, they were dating at the time, and the fact that he made
for 20-something years.
20-something years, and before that he was Meryl Marco for a great deal of time, but that he acknowledged that he had done something wrong by
publicly.
her.
But why not apologize to her privately, pay the guy off?
Do you think he didn't say, damn, why isn't my key working? Baby, I'm sorry.
Well, he did it. He does.
I'm sure he did privately.
With a great deal of humor, which is, you know, he apologized to her with humor, which is good because she'll be laughing all the way to the bank. But in addition to that, it was a very interesting exercise in how comedians handle these situations. I refer you back to Hugh Grant. Do you remember that when he was getting the old whammaroo in the back seat?
You know?
And he made a joke about it, and then his career was fine, and Jay Leno's numbers went up. I think it's going to happen to Letterman.
Well, look, I'd love to sort of pick this up when we come back, because we're going to go look, we'll be right back. Excuse me, I just wanted to finish up the David Letterman conversation because I felt like I cut you off.
No, you did not.
Oh, good.
Nope.
Well, here's my question. The person who decides to blackmail someone and say, I'm going to drag not just you, because you're the one with the dough. I'm not going to just drag you through the mud. I'm going to drag your wife, your kids, your family. Who wakes up and says, yeah, I think I'm going to ruin somebody's life today?
According to what we've read, he needed a lot of money. He was in debt.
Well, why couldn't he go on the corner like every other desperate person?
What's weird about it is, this is supposedly, from one point, he's a producer. He's a very smart guy. He produces 48 Hours, I believe, and etc. What made him think that he could cash a check for $2 million? That's the part that's confusing. And what the lawyer will use that, I think, in the case. Because it looks almost like he was kidding.
But I think he was so much in that place. He made $200,000, which, you know, after taxes, 48%. He's in that 48% tax bracket. I know, I'm saying that you could see the place of desperation that he was in. He's paying $7 grand a month for child support. I mean, he's just, when you're in such a place of desperation, absolutely, you're just not even thinking.
Ruining somebody's
not even thinking.
family.
It's
not
it's unexcusable.
Because you're in desperate straits. Ruining my family is wrong.
You know, don't you think he was also angry? He was angry because this girl was living with him. She was telling him
he should have